Hey everyone. I am filming today's video in one of the practice rooms at my college, and there's some other musicians in some of the other practice rooms, so if at times you hear music or singing, it's not coming from me, it's from other musicians. It's not just my own space, I do have to share it with other people, so hopefully it doesn't get too loud. But I just sort of, first of all, I hope you're having a great week and such. Let's see, I'm filming this today on a Tuesday, but this will probably be posted on my YouTube channel for the vlogs, probably Wednesday. But I sort of just wanted to dive in and share with you something, I guess something about my life and with my life. And I hope that, by me sharing some of these things that I'm going to say with you, I hope that it can help you. I decided that I made a decision with my life that I wanted to share, things about my life and my journey and what I've learned and mistakes I've made along the way, and how I've changed and how I haven't changed, and things that I've accomplished, and also things that I still continue to go through and to get closer to where I want to be. My hope really is that by sharing this, that some of my story can help you. And I'm not, I don't do this for the sake of, oh, I'm just gonna share my life and this is me and blah blah blah. I really want you to hopefully take away something from these videos and just what I put out on social media, because the last thing that I would want to do is put on an image, put on this persona that is just not who I really am. And I would hate for other people who don't know me to believe that, and to think that somehow this persona of myself is the real person, when that's not the case. And the things that I'm about to share with you, I have thought, I guess, for some time as to whether or not I really want to share this, because it's not just personal in the fact that it deeply affects me and my family and I guess my life, but I think that it's just one of those topics and discussions that doesn't get talked about a lot. And I think that I want to make sure that I'm, again, being honest with myself before I say anything or put anything out, but also that I'm not hiding anything, that I'm not trying to put my spin on the story, or to make it seem like it's not my fault, or you know what I mean, stuff like that. So I'm gonna sort of tell you a little about some things about my life, and hopefully you can take away something from it. If there's anything I've really sort of realized about life, it is that it is not always easy. Life certainly has its wonderful moments, its experiences of joy and a sense of self-actualization and profoundness and peace, and a sense of acceptance of the moments in our lives. And there is so much to appreciate. I think that on the flip side, I think that talking about negative things or things that we don't like to experience in life, I think sometimes there's a tendency for us to talk about things that are negative in our lives, to talk about it in a way that sometimes feels a little bit, not like not just like it's complaining, but just that I think people might change because of something negative or because of something very difficult in someone's life. To me, I don't know. I sort of have just realized that, you know, there's going to be a point in everyone's life where I think someone begins to really question a lot of things about life and their own life, and I think it's perfectly normal for someone to question, because doubting is one of the ways that we can actually grow closer. It's one of the ways that we can really discover and find out the truth and find out who we are, in a sense. You know, because by doubting, what you do is you actually eliminate and you start to break down some of the walls and preconceived notions of things that you thought were true. You know, maybe you were raised all your life believing this way or whatnot, but when you begin to doubt, you actually begin to search for something deeper than just your former self. You begin to really, I think, grow in a way that can lead you to a realization or a discovery about yourself that is even higher than, you know, who you previously were. And, you know, not to you know, I don't want to just talk about this story in that I want you to feel bad or, you know, feel like that somehow, like, you know, my life has been, you know, really bad or whatnot, because the fact of the matter is it's not. I feel very fortunate with my life and for my circumstances, and I feel very grateful that up to this point I've been able to live a life that is just, you know, I feel very grateful again, you know, and I feel like I'm, you know, my life has had so much, you know, I want to say ease, but you know, it's really been, I do feel very fortunate that I've been able to be in this position with my life, because I know for a lot of people it's not the case, and, you know, a lot of people go through things that no one sees, you know, and maybe no one even talks about. And to that end, I say that, you know, just know that, you know, whatever it is that you are going through, you know, even if you feel like you are completely alone, or if you feel like you don't matter, you know, all I can say to that is that you do matter, and that the world is, I believe, infinitely better because of the fact that you even exist. I think just the very fact that we exist, that life itself exists, which began as a lifeless world and was created with the image and the focus of life and of love and whatnot. That's how I see it. And so, you know, with you know, stuff that's been going on with my life and just stuff like that, you know, I think that without going into too much detail, I would just say that I'm in a place right now where there are things going on with my family that I guess are not going in, that it's sort of taking a very quick turn, and I'm sort of getting to know things that I didn't know about my family and such, that you know, it in a sense it does hurt me, because it's tough to reconcile. It's tough to believe that, you know, someone very close to you could lie, or could do something that was so devastating that it could break apart family members. You know, I think there is a time, and I've certainly had a little bit of time to really think and to to sort of feel that way. But I also have to remind myself that, especially in a situation where I don't really know what's going on, where I'm not in control of that situation, I have to realize that I can't. It's foolish, regardless of the situation, to get very upset or to feel mad at someone, or to have very strong feelings against someone. It would be foolish for me to have that, in a situation that I just didn't have control over. I think for a lot of us in our lives, sometimes we get upset and we get mad at things, about the world and society and politics and what's happening socially and around us. I think it's very easy for us to just start to have these feelings of frustration and even hatred over things that we simply can't control. When you really think about your life, and if you really think about what is it that you actually can control, I think you'll discover that we as individuals and humans, we really don't have as much control in our lives as we might think. With that being said, I think that there is certainly a place and a time for an individual to recognize if there is issues and if there are things that are unjust going on. It is certainly right to step up and to speak for the truth and speak for what is right, certainly. But I also think that it's just important to realize that sometimes our expectations of other people, of society, can be much different than the reality of the situation. And sometimes when the expectations are not met, or they're not the same, we can be mad at that. But we have to realize that it's because we've had a different expectation of what was going on. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. But I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. These past couple of weeks have been very, very tough for me. I've been doing my best to focus on college and to make these vlogs and to focus on my music. I actually have a couple of piano competitions coming up in about a couple of weeks, and so I've been trying my best to focus on other things. But there's been days, there's been nights, there has been times when I would wake up and I would just feel like, why is this happening in my life, to my family, to my mom, to my dad, to my brother, to my sisters. Why is this happening? And I've realized that life is not meant to be fully understood, and I think that there's a great sort of thorn in that we want to feel like we are in control of our lives. We want to feel like we know what's going on. We as humans, as creatures of habits, we like to have a sense of control. We want to know sort of what's ahead of us, and I think that's natural. But I've realized in life that to try and understand with the mind that we have, to try and make sense really of everything that is in life. I mean, let alone this world and this universe. I mean, to think that somehow our mind, our capacity can understand all of the things that happens in life, I think that is, you would have to have more faith to believe in something like that than to not. So, you know, I try my best to not, you know, get too worked up emotionally and with thinking, with, you know, with stuff that happens in my life that I can't control. And, you know, I've thought a lot about, you know, what does it mean to love someone? Not just the, you know, whatever society says love is, which I think is completely not just misunderstood, but misused and misrepresented. You know, but what is loving someone? What does that mean biblically? You know, what is it that we talk about when we talk about love? And you know, how should we love? You know, as the way that Jesus loved others, and the way that that God loves us. You know, I think that in times of great conflict and of uncertainty, it's an important reminder that, you know, our lives are not, we are not fully in control of our lives, and that we can either make a choice in this situation to either turn away and to feel like we've been betrayed, and to feel like nothing makes sense, and to feel hopeless, and to feel like I don't care, I don't matter, or we can choose to look the other way and to have the courage to say, I don't know, I can't understand the things that are going on with my life and with my family, but what I do know is that, you know, God has a plan, and everything that has happened to this point and for the future is all part of His plan. And that, you know, even if we feel like He has abandoned us, He never has, and He never will. And that assurance and that understanding, you know, has helped me, especially during this time. And you know, it's made me become even more grounded as a human being. You know, I realized this in myself and looking at other people, that all of us, you know, in some shape or form, all of us are broken, and no one is perfect, and we all have our faults, and you know, we can think that, you know, someone, you know, might be of a higher standard, or you know, whatnot. We might look up to someone, but you know, everyone is going through things, and everyone has a story that isn't so, you know, isn't always just happy and positive, and you know, that and it's made me, because of that, it's made me look at myself and other people and realize that I can't, you know, I just, it's not within me to have and to hold on any feelings of hatred or bitterness. You know, it's just because everyone is broken, and you know, who's to say that I have a right as an individual, that I somehow can, that I should, you know, have such feelings towards someone else. It's not who I am. It's not the kind of person that I want to be. So I am making a choice to not hold on and to not believe in those feelings. So, you know, I'm sort of entering a phase where in my life where I don't exactly know what's the future with my family. Things are sort of coming to an end, and there's a lot that I am that I don't know, and there's a lot that I am starting to understand and realize and know. But I have to realize that there has just been so much in my life that has been that has been not only given to me, but I feel very fortunate to that I've had the experience of being within a family, and of growing up in the sense that my parents and my family, they tried. I think that's important to at least recognize and realize that I didn't have and I don't think anyone can, but perfect parents don't exist. And I'm realizing this too, that both my mom and dad are human beings, with emotions and thoughts of their own, and too complicated to necessarily describe or articulate, but they are nonetheless human beings, and they're not perfect. Neither am I, and neither is anyone else. But they tried, and they loved me very much, and that's something that will continue for the rest of my life. That I'm beyond measure. I am grateful that I've been able to have parents like that. So that's sort of what I wanted to just share with you. This doesn't mean that I'm stopping making content and sharing my story and my life. I hope that with me sharing something like this, that it can help you. And I'm gonna keep going, because that's it's one of the only ways that we do move on in life, and we do move on from things, is we have to keep going. And whether or not you find this source of strength from yourself, or from other people, or nature, or whatever, just know that I believe that there is a God that exists, and I do believe with all of my heart that He loves each and every one of us, no matter what. And that even in times like this with my life, where it feels like it's very unfair, and it feels like things are sort of falling apart in my life, I at least can be comforted knowing that there is a Father and a God who is all loving and is all perfect, and does and will always be there for me. So again, just wanted to share that with you. And if you want to leave a comment, or send me a message or an email or something, I'd seriously love to talk more about, especially even something like this. I just don't feel like, obviously, just sharing stuff like this in just one video can clearly do it justice to what's really going on. But nonetheless, I just wanted to share a little bit about that, and also just to let you know that I'm doing okay. I honestly feel like I'm doing much better than I thought I would be. And I'm sure I'm from time to time there's going to be I'm going to get in a place where I might sort of get sad, or just I might just, there's going to be, I think, phases where I look back and I just sort of just be like, I wish it had gone this way, but I can't do anything about that. The past is the past, and we can only influence our present day, which will hopefully influence the future, and hopefully what we want in the future is something that'll bring us closer to one another. So wanted to share that with you, and I'll be back. I think I'm going to try and get back to going back to sort of the similar vlogging style, although I still have to get a replacement for that video stabilizer, and I'll give you an update if I get that soon, but hopefully I can get that fixed soon, because I would love to start, just going back to filming, the vlogs as I would. And let's see, what else? Oh, and I'm filming this on one of my Motorola, like Android phones, but I got a new phone because, as I've mentioned, the back camera broke because I broke the screen. Yeah, I know. Great job there. But yeah, I got the Google Pixel 3, and I got the XL, the extra large, and I've been sort of fiddling with it for a couple of days, and I think it's fantastic, and I can't wait to share, give you sort of my thoughts and impressions on the camera itself and what it can do. But I think I'm most excited about the capabilities. That's a tongue twister. That it has when looking at the camera and the phone. I think that it's probably one of the best phones and cameras devices out there, and I'm excited to continue creating content and sharing with you my story in life through that. So again, hopefully you took away something from this video, and yeah, I will be back with another video. So thanks for listening.